Hello and welcome in the Lord's blessing. This one is on white privilege. Ha! That is such a crock. There's no such thing as white privilege. White hate? Yeah. White discrimination? Oh yeah. White privilege? Let's review. Whites pay the majority of the taxes in this nation, and then when we need help, we don't get it. And we don't really owe anyone anything. I know the slavery thing is still, after all these time, is still a big thing in how we owe people, especially the black community. Here's some interesting things. It was white northern men who fought, died for you, for your freedom. And it's white women who fought when we couldn't even vote. We fought for your right to vote. So no, we don't owe anyone anything. Maybe the Democrats, who still have blacks and now Mexicans enslaved in their cradle to grave programs. Yeah, they might owe you something since they still have you in slavery. But white people in general, white people in the North, hell no. And my family wasn't even in America during the Civil War, so piss off. And when they came, they were in the North. And the North has always supported people being people. It's the South that just demonizes people. And it's like, you're not a real human. You're only part human. What the hell is that? Don't put their shit on me or anyone else. Personally, I think we should have a national Think Away Yankee Day. Because if it wasn't for us, there would still be slavery. And it's really interesting because in all the countries around the world, it's in the white nations, the former Christian nations, that all put an end to slavery. Why isn't anyone crying about the fact that Africa still enslaves? In the Middle East, still enslaves? If you're so pissed off, why aren't you working to stop it? Anyways, so yeah. Then there's college. It's been a trend for quite a while where, hey, if you're white and your parents pay taxes and you get a job and pay taxes and your grandparents and however long you've been here have been paying taxes, especially if it's a public institution, hey, yeah, we might take you, but, if you're white, you're going to have to go through all these hoops. You have to get a certain grade point average. Were you active? Was your behavior coming up? Can you prove that you can learn and be busy beyond belief? But, oh, okay, you did. That's great. Oh, but we have this person over here who's not white, who's never shown any interest at all in learning, who has never proven that they can retain knowledge, and now they want to go to this really nice school. Bye-bye, white person. Why the hell do I have to pay everything and for you? That's bullshit. Whites have so many more hoops, and then when we actually need help or it's our turn to use the institutions that our money has built, we're get the boot in the ass. Ridiculous. Oh, then you have name calling. For some reason, it's okay to name call white people all the time. I'd love to know why it's not offensive to, the racial slurs against whites, but if you do it to anyone else, oh my gosh, it's so evil. And is it really evil when, I don't know, at least with the black community, there's you say the N-word a lot to each other. If it's not offensive to each other, why is it so offensive when someone else says it? That's really a kicker. Let's see, welfare. This is a fun one. Welfare. So, and I know people love to say, oh, the Mexicans, they pay sales tax. Well, the programs are supported on far more than sales taxes. They're not paying in all the other taxes, and their family hasn't been over here paying into the taxes. And there's a lot of communities within America who are generational welfare, so they've never paid into the system, them or their parents or their grandparents. Keep on going with that. So yeah, and then when you're white and you need help, you get gone. We don't help people like you. And it really doesn't matter if you have an education or not. I had a friend, her daughter got in an accident. She's like, that's okay, I'll go sign you up. And on the door, it said, we only help mothers and illegals. And she went in there. It's like, I need to sign my daughter up. Well, she's obviously not illegal. Is she a mother? No. Get gone. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. There is just there's really no help. You have to beat your head against a wall, and you may get, you're lucky to get anything. It's the barriers they put up for white people, and it's really asinine, because when you do need help, you're not in a position with the energy to fight to get it, especially to fight against a system that's rigged against you, that was built on your money and your family's money. It's ridiculous. Let's see, for housing, Latinos are 4 times more likely than whites to receive housing help. Blacks, 7 times. And that doesn't include illegals receiving housing or everyone that's caught up in the prison system. Let's see. And hold on. Big truck. Let's see. Oh, and 51% of immigrants are on welfare. Some sort of welfare, because I always love it. It's like the Mexicans are saving us. 51% are on welfare. Of the 51%, 73% are Mexican. How are they helping us when they're on some type of welfare? And this isn't even counting ridiculous programs like the public education system. For the love of God, if you don't have a kid in the system, you shouldn't be paying for it. And there's enough proof that keep throwing money at issues don't necessarily solve anything. Goodness gracious, America pays more than anyone to educate their kids, and we have a bunch of brats that don't know the difference between the Civil War and the Revolutionary War. Goodness gracious. Anyways, so yeah, there is, 30% Indians on some sort of welfare. 82% of black people with kids are on welfare. 82%. Compared to 23% of whites. I haven't had friends. They were married young. They switched areas for jobs, and the oil busted. They didn't have a dime to their name. Didn't have any food whatsoever. They went down. They couldn't get help for anything. Had no food, no money, and they wouldn't help them. And it's just not uncommon. Doesn't matter if you're single, if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're a couple, if you're white, the system is rigged against you. It is rigged to take money out of your pockets, and then when you need help, they won't help you because they're too busy helping everyone else in the nation and the world. You think it's so great to be white? Come and get it. Please, come take over. I worked my ass off. And then it's time for me. I have to have some help. And I'm on a program where I had to work so long and make so much money to even be considered for what I'm on. And then they come and are breathing down my neck every couple of years, even though I have doctor after doctor saying I'm not going to heal. And they're threatening to take away what tiny bit I have. And yet they are doling out housing and food and education and medical and then just freebie cash to people who didn't pay into the system, haven't paid into the system, generational welfare, and they get their college for free. Not only do they get K through 12 for free, it's bullshit. Absolutely crap. There's no such thing as white privilege. It's more like white getting screwed in the rear. And that's really interesting. Heather Macdonald, you should look her up. She researched cops and violence concerning cops. Well, black people, for some reason, commit far more violent crimes than white people. White people are 2 times more likely to get shot by a cop. Did you hear that? White people are 2 times more likely to be shot by cops than blacks, even though we commit far less crime. And black cops are far more likely to shoot black people. Black cops, not white cops, but black cops are far more likely to shoot black people. Yeah, there is no such thing as white privilege. White privilege is when you pay for everything, and then when you need help, you don't get it. And then you have these bratty ass white people and the rest of the nation going, wah, you suck because you're white and we have to hate you. Look what you've done. Oh no, look what we've done. Nation after nation was at one point built to awesome. We have the arts, we had there's so much good things that whites have done. Not saying they're perfect because no group is perfect, but there's a lot that comes out of white. And it's only white nations that have put an end to slavery. Can't say that for any other continent or group. Anywho, so yeah, white privilege is an absolute farce. And yes, we did get discriminated against. I've had it happen time and again. You go in and someone needs a power trip or whatever, and it's like, you're white. I have seen it since I've been living like this. Hey, I've got money. Like, get out of here. We don't want anything to do with you. I even had a friend call up one place. She's like, let's see if it was your skin. And she like called up with an accent, and they're all like, oh yes, very now. Good time to come in now. It's like, that's interesting. 3 minutes ago when I was in there, my lily white behind, it was too busy to have me be in there. Ridiculous. Anywho, so yeah, but it's just across the board. And it's really like the majority minority bullshit. Seriously, could we just let language be language? Like, whites aren't even like majority in a lot of cities, and it's been that way for a long time. I mean, I'm not a majority here. In my college town, I wasn't majority, and now they're saying that minorities are majorities and majorities are minorities. Like, why don't you just say what it is? Whites are no longer the majority for the most part. And this is going to be really fun, being that whites pay for everything. I would love to see it if taxes only went to your group. White money only went to white people, and so on. I'd really love to see how long this nation could survive without the tax money from white people. There's no such thing as white privilege. White hate, yeah. White discrimination, yeah. White privilege, it does not exist. And let me tell you, when you do need help from the cops, it's not there. There is no such thing as white privilege.